STIHL has always been known for their handheld products such as their chainsaws, string trimmers, backpack blowers, the list goes on. So it was a surprise for a lot of people when they announced in 2022 they will be releasing their first ever zero-turn mower. But a lot of guys were asking when is STIHL going to release their first ever stand-on mower? Well, at the 2024 EQUIP Expo, STIHL released their brand new mower, the AZA700 Series stand-on battery-powered mower. I was able to sit down with STIHL's project manager, Brian, who oversees the zero-turn lineup, to ask him all the questions we want to know about their brand new stand-on mower.
This is our brand new AZA700 Series stand-on. It comes in 3 different deck sizes, 48, 52, and 60-inch deck. This is a machine that can replace a gas unit. With an onboard 24 kilowatt-hour battery, you're looking at about an 8-hour runtime and up to 21 acres of grass. Release date for the mower, we should start shipping our first units to dealers in January.
Do you guys plan on coming out with a gas-powered stand-on, or are you guys strictly just doing battery?
So right now the focus is on expanding the battery portfolio. On the gas side, we are of course looking at options there and expanding that. Stay tuned for future expos.
The biggest thing when guys are looking at battery-powered stuff, worries, which is basically runtime. So you said 8 hours, so that's 8 continuous hours? Or is that 8 hours of kind of off and on, and is that set at a highest blade cut speed, and how does that work?
Really good question. When we look at the 8 hour, as far as the marketing claims, that's considered in optimal conditions, and that would be basically starting with continuous mowing until the battery is completely depleted. But they get confused with runtime and working time. Runtime is not working time. You may work from 6 in the morning till 6 at night, but you're not actually using the product during that entire time.
Correct. Another thing that a lot of guys are concerned in my field when switching over a battery is, of course, price. So do you guys have a price for the mower?
We do. The price for this is $26,500. It's $500, that's for the 52-inch deck. So then it's either $500 more or $500 less, depending which deck size you get.
So clearly with a gas-powered engine, you have all the maintenance of changing the oil, fuel filter, all that kind of stuff. What are you looking at maintenance-wise for this, and how much are you saving per year cost-wise compared to a gas?
No belts, no batteries, no fuel filters, no fuel maintenance. Every person is different. The price of gas versus the cost of electricity is significantly less. I mean, it's like less than a quarter of the price.
Gotcha.
Comparable energy amounts. So
when it comes to charging, do we need a 120 or do we need to get a specialty plug like what you do with like a car, right?
The charger that comes with the mower is both 110 volt and 220 volt capable.
Gotcha.
In the same charger. So you just swap out the connector on the charger and then plug it into the appropriate outlet.
If you were to drain this battery all the way down, right?
Correct.
If you were to plug it into a 120 versus a 240, what is the charge times to get that to full?
So keep in mind, we're talking about going all the way to dead,
yeah,
which is theoretically really shouldn't be happening based on our real world experience.
Let's just say that we have an employee that not the greatest,
yep,
forgets to plug it in.
I understand where you're going.
Right? And
yep.
So you got to charge it because it's dead.
So the good news on 220 volts, you're looking at about an 8-hour recharge time. On 110, you're looking at more of a like 22, 23 hours at 110. We have a really nice touch color display.
Gotcha.
So rather than black and white or some pixelated device from the olden days, so the main home screen, what's the status of the battery, what's the charge level, how fast the machine operates. This controls your top speed as well as the responsiveness of the control handles. You can also set how fast the blades run. If we look at some other settings on here, you're going to notice that there's a little satellite symbol.
Correct.
That's because this machine has built-in connectivity, so there is an app for it. The app allows you to geofence the unit. So you can literally lock this machine to a geofence area that if you go outside of the geofence area, it will no longer operate properly.
Gotcha.
So if someone were to borrow this machine,
yeah,
they will find it's not very useful because if you have the geofencing set up, it's not going to mow grass anymore. If we look around the rest of the machine, if you look at the back, the operator step platform, STIHL is very focused on ergonomics. So you see the heavy bolstering on the side, so it kind of hugs you when you're in it. Walking around the machine, we have this really heavy-duty, nice carrying platform.
That's really cool.
I know guys will find a lot of uses for that.
Oh yeah, I can already think of a couple. Now, another thing I just thought about with battery-powered stuff is typically battery-powered is a little heavier compared to gas. So what are we looking weight-wise for this thing?
So this machine is a little heavier than a traditional gas one, that is true. You're looking at a couple 100 pounds heavier than a traditional gas unit.
Gotcha.
There is one very important feature I want to point out to you though, that is very unique to our machines, and that is this port right here in the front.
I saw that.
The electronic takeoff port.
Okay.
So what we wanted to do is give you the ability to tap into that power for other tools.
Okay.
So if we look around the booth here today, and I can show it to you, but we have a leaf blower that you can mount to the front.
Gotcha.
And that leaf,
See that? That's cool.
yeah, and the leaf blower, it's a no-joke leaf blower. It's the same power as our BR600. So I mean, just a few short years ago, the BR600 was the most powerful backpack blower you could get. So being able to mount that blower on the front of the machine and then control it from the operator station with a joystick it's slick. It's another thing that you can do with a battery-powered machine that you can't do with a gas machine.
So what other kind of attachments are you guys planning on in the future? So clearly a blower is a great attachment. What other things can you actually plug into?
So really the possibilities are endless. The blower was the first thing we came out with. We're also introducing a bagging unit, not for the stand-on, but for the sit-down units, there will be a bagging unit that's powered by the ETO port. We also just came out with an inverter. So, you know, again, we have a 24 kilowatt hour battery. Going back to forgetting to charge, what if you forgot to charge your handheld batteries? So the inverter is a 1,000 watt inverter, so it'll easily run a couple of our chargers. So if you needed to charge your handheld batteries during the day off of this unit, you could.
So of course people always like to wonder, price tags, what are we looking at?
So pricing, the inverter is $799.
Okay.
And the leaf blower is $22.50, I believe.
And are these going to be available next year, or what's the time frame
Yep,
for those?
time frame for these hitting the market will be in the springtime, probably February, March-ish. Don't have an exact date, but definitely first quarter next year.
One thing you're starting to kind of see more and more is autonomous mowers, right?
Correct.
Where everything's being ran off computers, GPS, whatever. Do you guys see that with this unit, possibly having that feature?
We're not ready to go there yet. Even the industry, you can see there's some companies now that are getting very close, you know, where we can mow wide open fields autonomously.
Correct.
I can tell you we are definitely looking at that and watching it, but we want to make sure that the technology is where it needs to be before we release it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. So after talking to Brian for about 30 minutes about the mower, I decided I wanted to go try it out for myself. And the one thing I did notice is that it handled very well. Because there is no hydros and belts, there is no lag when it comes to the controllers. It was very responsive, and honestly, I really liked it. Now, overall, I really like this mower, and honestly, my favorite thing about it is the low maintenance of the mower. There's 1,000 things I would rather spend my time on than maintaining my mowers on my weekends or after a long day of work. And being able to have a zero-turn mower where I can just leave it in my trailer, throw the charger on, and not have to worry about a single thing. I don't have to worry about my employees not checking the engine oil or filling up the gas or anything like that. I can really get behind. But let me know down below what you guys think of this mower. Would you guys ever consider going to a battery power mower, or are you guys going to be sticking out with gas to the very end? Would love to know. Be sure to leave a comment, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on Ambrose Landscaping.